My name is Michael Sanchez, and I was born with autism. For the first few years of my life, I was nonverbal. I often isolated myself from others and avoided eye contact. I did not interact with my peers, nor did I engage in pretend play. My parents also noticed that I was sensitive to sound, touch, and change in routine. I was developing differently than my older siblings. This naturally scared my parents, so they took me to the doctor for help, where I was diagnosed with autism at the age of 3. Over the next few years, my parents worked with specialists to help me obtain skills that I was not naturally born with. I feel that society has come to believe autism is this disability that will hold a person back in life. I hope this speech clears up some misunderstandings that people have come to believe. Let me start off by explaining what autism is. According to an article called About Autism Spectrum Disorder, published by the CDC, autism spectrum disorder, or ASD for short, is a neurodevelopment disorder that mainly affects a person's ability to learn and communicate. Neuro is a medical prefix that refers to the nervous system. This includes the brain, spinal cord, and nerves. When the body sends messages to the brain is supposed to filter and interpret that information in a certain way. In the brain of an autistic person, the message sent to the brain are interpreted differently, causing them to socialize or act in unique ways. Someone with autism may show a strong interest in certain subjects, others may act out with repetitive behaviors or have heightened senses. These differences are something that an individual is born with. It has nothing to do with parenting styles or vaccines. Now that we have a basic understanding of what autism is, let's go over how somebody can be diagnosed. Autism is not a disease. Unlike high blood pressure or diabetes, there is no medical test that can diagnose autism. Instead, a doctor working with a psychologist will look at a person's developmental history, such as social interaction, behavior, social communication skills, and direct observation of the child. All of these are needed for an autism evaluation. Early detection and intervention leads to improved outcomes. Signs of autism may appear as early as 6 months. An article published by the CDC and the National Institution of Mental Health go over how diagnosing can be confusing. Signs such of autism can vary, but most include making little or inconsistent eye contact, appearing to not look or listen when being spoken to, or having repetitive or repeated behaviors, such as a certain phrase or action. Do note that diagnosing autism is much easier during childhood rather than adulthood. What is the autism spectrum? First, let's think about the color spectrum. Blue comes in a variety of shades. There's baby blue, sky blue, and navy blue. It doesn't matter about the shade, they are all blue. The autism spectrum is similar. An autistic person has trouble with communication, social interaction, and cognitive behavior. The only question is to what degree does this affect a person and how much support is required. A person with high functioning autism may require little support in their life and can live what most would call a relatively normal life, able to work, drive, cook, and live alone. While a person with low functioning autism will require substantial support throughout their life. Whether a person falls on the high or low end of the spectrum, all individuals with autism will require some support during their lifetime. A recent study published by the University of California titled Is Autism Genetic states there may be several external factors that increase the likelihood of getting autism, such as genetic or environmental factors. I would like to take a moment to remind you that the article states may and not does increase the likelihood of getting autism. As I mentioned earlier, there is currently no known cause for autism. There is, however, no evidence to suggest that vaccines cause autism, and it is not contagious. Over the last couple of years, there has been a steady increase in the number of autism cases. According to the Center for Disease Control, 1 in every 36 children have autism in the United States. This is almost 5 times higher than when they started running this autism survey back in 1992. This could be for a plethora of reasons, however, it is widely considered it went up because more people became aware of autism and are now being properly diagnosed, not because autism has actually increased. In conclusion, autism is a neurodevelopment disorder. Early detection and intervention is the key to helping improve the person's lifelong outcome. Autism affects people in a variety of ways and in different degrees of variations. It is on the rise, it is on the rise and there is still no known cause. I hope you guys walk away today having a better understanding of what autism is, how it affects people differently, not believing the misconceptions that society says about it. It is not life debilitating, it is not something to be sad or pitied. In the words of Temple Grandin, I knew I was different, but not less. However, having autism does not make me less, just different. I'm special in my own way, like we all are. I see the world differently. I am an individual just like you. God made billions of us. No two are the same. We are all a little different, and that is good.
Good.